If you want to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below. A Florida woman by the name of Quavia Janiyah Young, age 26, of Cocoa Road, was arrested Thursday night at a McDonald's located at 927 Dixon Boulevard in Cocoa and accused of brandishing a weapon in the drive-thru and pointing it at an employee due to an argument over a non-existent item menu. The arrest affidavit described what witnesses told responding officers after arriving to find the woman behind the wheel with a weapon in her passenger seat. The weapon was identified as a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield 9mm with a 50-round drum magazine. Young allegedly demanded a cheeseburger bundle which did not exist on the menu and refused an employee's offer to sell her a cheeseburger and small fries instead. The incident occurred during Young's second time in the drive-thru lane that day. Allegedly, there was an argument with Young during her first visit to the drive-thru lane. During the second encounter, the victim told police that Young pulled up to the first drive-thru window after being told that she could not be served a meal that wasn't on the menu. Once there, the victim asked Young what her problem was. That's when Young brandished her weapon. According to the affidavit, the victim asked Young why she was so mad over a simple issue. Young pointed the weapon at the victim, verbally threatening her as well before proceeding to the next window. When Cocoa police arrived, officers also learned that Young did not have a valid driver's license. Young then later admitted that she was aware that her license was suspended. Young was transported to the Brevard County Jail and charged with open carry of a weapon, driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge, and aggravated assault with a weapon with the intent to harm. Her bond was set to $7,500 and she bonded out Saturday morning. She is scheduled for a court arraignment on April 13th of 2023. So let me just go through and state the same things that I've always been stating, that the same problems that black women have stated, that they have an issue with black men and that they want them to fix in the community so that they can feel safe and so that, everything can be everything yet again, and so that they don't have to, worry about any type of harm or anything like that coming to their lives. I stated that the moment in time that black women stay fixated and focused directly on what black men are doing and not doing, that as they allow this to go on day by day, month by month, year by year, and to slip by, or they want to sweep it directly under the rug, that it's going to get worse. So you literally had a black woman here deciding that she wanted to get into an argument about an item that does not even exist on the McDonald's menu. And people wonder why it is that I stated that if clear cut you are an individual, for this example, a woman, and you are so fixated on fast food that you get angry about it, stay home and cook. Go to the grocery store, stay home and cook. Nobody's going to tell me that she don't got the money to cook. If you can afford a weapon, on top of that, a 50-round drum, on top of that, the bullets to then put directly into said weapon and then drive around, which also requires gas, and then on top of that, you have a car. Yeah, you can afford some stuff. You could afford to be driving on that license that is suspended and went directly to the grocery store and then went right back home. And guess what? You wouldn't have been arrested. You wouldn't have been fined for anything. And she could have went to the DMV to go get her license re-registered. No problems. No problems. Right? But as stated before, you can't tell a lot of women anything anymore. You can't tell, especially black women, to go out here and act as if you have some common sense, especially the young ones out here. I, as a guy, you think that I'm going to try to, tell them anything, try to tell them like, hey, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't say that, and nah, I'm going to let it be what it's going to be. I'm not about to do it. I'm not about to do it. because that is not my job. Because the main thing about this story, I'm not sure if anybody caught it, because the way that everything was worded, they put it at the very last part. They said that the victim, right? Not talking about the woman that you see in front of you, right? They're talking about the victim is a she. So that lets you know everything that you need to know right there. That lets you know everything that you need to know right there. You have a woman that has an issue or magically a problem with another woman because maybe she didn't like the attitude, she didn't like the way that she looked, she didn't like the way that she was talking, maybe she didn't like a certain hand gesture or a mannerism or an eyebrow. Like it was something so small that it turned into something so big. And this woman knew exactly that this item menu was not on the item menu. She knew it wasn't because it doesn't exist. She felt that it was an item menu. Therefore, she rolled up, and let me repeat that again. She felt that it was an item menu, right? Knew that it wasn't, rolled up to the McDonald's not once but twice, and proceeded to do this. She had a plan. She had the weapon directly with her in the seat. One would have to ask, why would you decide? You don't seemingly didn't hear of any baby seats or anything like that in the car. So there was nobody else there. There was no type of man with her in the car. So why would one such as herself, a black woman, be carrying a weapon that has a 50-round drum on it to a McDonald's drive-through? Do you got ops? Are you in some type of gang related activities? You got other female gang members coming after you? Like what's like I need to know what's actually going on with black women to the point where things like this are transpiring. Because you're not going to tell me that she's doing this because she fears for her life because of XYZ black men out here that are doing XYZ to black women. You're not going to tell me that because that still don't even make sense. Because with the weapon that you can't even really hide that unless you got a large enough purse. And even still, if you got that, the amount of time it's going to take you to really pull that up due to the weight of the like. Come on now, that's not even realistically efficient. Realistically, just saying. It might get caught on something in the purse as soon as you try to like look like anything can take place. She had this because she more than likely has issues with other women directly out here. And she wants to give a type of show of force to these women out here to let them know that she ain't the one, but she is the one at the same time. And as I stated before, it's amazing to me that you will always see these type of actions take place, and it's always self versus self. You'll never see individuals like this trying to do anything to people who have specifically harmed their family. You will never see them try to act this way in self-defense against an enemy. It's always a self versus self type of deal whenever we hear these stories. That's crazy. That's 1,000% crazy. I would actually want to know because the oddest thing is, this is me not knowing anything about Florida. They didn't state anything about her, in a sense, having a license to carry. I mean, she got charged, of course, but to my recollection, from what I can remember, they didn't state anything about a license to carry. They stated that her driver's license is suspended. So I'm not sure if maybe the laws in Florida are relaxed or however it may work because laws are different from state to state. But again, black women, I don't know what y'all gonna do. I don't know what y'all going to do because this is going to be a common occurrence, and it's going to continue to grow into a bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger problem. Because sooner or later, you're going to end up starting to see like a lot of these girls out here. They're going to formulate gangs. At one point in time in the 2000s, you had girls formulating these types of gangs and whatnot, and then that slowly died out or however it went. You're soon enough going to start to see like a resurgence because you're going to have a lot of these young girls out here acting wild, doing whatever it is that they want to sit up there and do. And y'all ain't gonna be able to tell them nothing. I'm talking about the women that are raising them. Y'all ain't gonna be able to tell them nothing. And then I don't want to hear nothing about, well, if the black man was in a, well, let's try this one. Even if the black man is in a house, you're not going to listen to what the black man has to say, which then means what? The daughter is going to look at what you're doing and how it is that you're talking to the father, and she's going to act the exact same way. So again, it don't matter if the father is there or not, it's going to be the same end result due to the fact that you don't want to listen when a black man is directly in a household. Your daughter is going to follow you and she's not going to listen either because you are her first female teacher. You're the first ones to basically teach them how to be women, how to act, how to have some type of decorum, how to listen. But y'all don't even know how to do that. So your daughters are going to act out just like you acting out. Like I said, y'all think it's something now. Again, because y'all only solely focused on what it is that quote unquote black men are doing, or quote unquote the ones that are the ones doing it, which is a small minority. Y'all overlooking all of this. And it's getting worse and worse by the day. And I keep sitting up there showing y'all a lot of these stories. In some instances, I might even post videos. And y'all still ain't listening. Still ain't listening. Y'all wanna pull up when it comes time to, somebody trying to inform y'all about, hey, you need to protect yourselves, you need to do this, you need to do that. But then grow silent when it comes to incidences and stories like this where it seems to be woman on woman or black woman versus black woman.